definitely for Joe Biden. Tell us
Joe's
why.
a local guy, too. Remember, he is just down the street. People have had a taste of Trump politics now, Trump consequences, and I think people are ready for yet another change, and I think it's going to go the other way this time.
I think that both of them support big government for their own purposes, and I'm not supportive of either of that.
We can't go on how we are now. We tried it, it didn't work.
All right, we're back here in Chester County in Pennsylvania, getting you set for the third night of the Democratic National Convention. That begins just a few hours from now. Now, tonight, it's the presumptive vice presidential nominee, Kamala Harris, who will take the virtual center stage. And the other key speakers tonight include Senator Elizabeth Warren. Hillary Clinton will speak. Former President Barack Obama will speak as well. And here to speak with us is Fred Hochberg. Fred, the former chairman at the U.S. Export-Import Bank under President Obama, works closely these days with the Biden campaign. You know, a couple of things. Kamala Harris tonight, obviously, a lot of people will be watching. But what about the idea of generating excitement in this virtual environment? I just saw the ratings from last night. 18.2 million people watched, which is a lot, obviously, but it's down from 24.7 million night two last time around. Does it make it more challenging to generate excitement around the campaign, which is obviously one of the challenges for the Biden folks?
Well, a virtual campaign is a new thing for all of us, new thing for Democrats, new thing for Republicans. So 18 million is a lot of viewers, and I think we're learning our way through. But I thought the last two nights were well produced. And were good. It was good television, and I thought the roll call was a far more interesting way of seeing it.
Yeah, going around the country and that, and having the backdrops. Yeah, that seemed to get pretty decent reviews. Let me ask you about Hillary Clinton, because she's going to speak tonight, and I just saw a reporter for Politico put an excerpt of her speech on Twitter, and I think it kind of speaks to what we're doing here in Chester County, Pennsylvania, which you know is an area that Joe Biden should win, and it's a matter of whether you can win big in an area like this in a swing state so you can offset the strength of your opponent, Donald Trump, in rural areas of the state. And Mrs. Clinton will say, according to this expert, this can't be another woulda, coulda, shoulda election. What would you say about turnout for the Democrats, and will they show up this time? Because if you look back, that's really why she lost, right?
Well, I think Joe Biden is clearly a bridge builder. And I think that he is trying to show, and the first two nights were a good example of a really big tent. We had Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and we had John Kasich. We had Colin Powell. We had Bill Clinton. We had a wide range of people, a wide range of points of view, and saying together, and Joe Biden is a person who believes in this, pull the country together, we can come up with better solutions that work for more Americans.
Give me a preview tomorrow night. That's always the big one, as much as people get excited about other speeches, if it's Michelle Obama or whoever it may be. The candidate speaks. The Trump campaign has been directly going after Joe Biden's mental fitness. I mean, that's out there in ads this week. Does it add to the pressure, even though you're dealing with such an experienced politician, does it add to the pressure to perform tomorrow night? Because that's now out there.
Well, I think for any presidential candidate, even on a re-election, the night they speak at the convention, when all the country, or the largest audience they probably had to date, will be on Joe Biden's eyes tomorrow night. The next three will be the debates. So these are all high-stake events. I've known Joe Biden for goodness over 30 years. He's experienced. He knows how to handle these things, and he's well prepared. And most importantly, he knows who he is, and he knows what he stands for and what his values are.
What do you say to that, attack from the Trump administration, which essentially amounts to, or from the president himself, that Vice President Biden has lost a step or has lost a little bit on his fastball? What do you say to that?
Joe Biden's been in government and in the public sphere for 40, 50 years. He understands when people make attacks, groundless attacks. I think he's pretty good at sort of fending them off and not taking them to heart.
All right, we'll see tomorrow night. I want to ask you about the economy a little bit, because that's the other thing we hear. Even in a pro-Biden area, which is where we are, seems like a lot of support for the former vice president. But those that are reluctant, especially former Trump voters, people who voted for Trump last time around, they may say, well, I'm willing to listen, I'm willing to change, but I'm worried that my taxes are going to go up. And not just go up a little, go up a lot. What do you say to those voters?
Well, I think what we need is a strong economy. And what we have seen in the last 6 months in particular, Donald Trump, through his inaction and lack of leadership on COVID, has tanked the economy. So we need to rebuild the economy. Joe's talking about doing infrastructure. And let's be clear, President Trump was going to be the infrastructure president. He was the builder. So I think we got a lot that's going to move this economy forward and move the United States economy both forward and globally forward. We can do a lot more exporting, which I worked on with Joe Biden and Barack Obama in the last administration. So I'm confident.
But those taxes are going up, right? Do you think they're going up right away, given what we're coming out of with a weak economy and the pandemic?
We're going to ultimately, at some point, as a country, we're going to have to pay for this. But we're not going to be, I don't think we're going to see any of that until we get the economy back on a firm footing. That's my personal view.
The timing does matter. Yeah, there's a lot of people on Wall Street seem to be betting on that as well. We'll see what happens if the former vice president takes over and wins this election, but we'll watch tomorrow night and tonight for Kamala Harris. Fred Hochberg, thank you. One last point. Make it quick, though, please.
Yeah, they're betting on a stable economy because a stable economy is a growing economy.
Fair enough. Thank you, Fred. Melissa.